down. And when this is closed, this will go under like that and like that. Right? Yes, I think it does. So to place this, I want it to go, you know, kind of in the middle, like that. Even get that thing in there? Yeah, I guess I can. Okay. And then I'm going to mark where I want this to go, so right about there. My hole punching tools consist of a block, a hole punching tool. This is 1/8 of an inch, and basically it's just a metal hole punch. And so I'm going to put this right where I marked this. And now I have my hole here, and don't mind the one that I punched by accident there. Good thing I'm not selling this. And then I've got another little tool that I lay over the top that I use my hammer with. And then to set the eyelet, I've got this little tool. There's a couple of different tools available. Use whichever eyelet setter you prefer. I wanted this to be maybe a little bit loose so that I could fit some twine around it. So now I've got this little piece here, and I'm going to set another eyelet right along the same, you know, I want it to be in the same area, but this time I can punch it with my hole punch. Get out my ruler, kind of line it up a little bit. Maybe right about here. Looks like a good place. Maybe even a little higher. Okay. So I'm going to take my hole punch and punch right about where I marked that. So like that. Erase my little marks. And I'll put another eyelet in there, but I won't put the other thing on there, you know, this little circle thing. I just want the eyelet. And basically what this is going to do is it will keep your thing closed. So maybe just take a length that I think I can tie. That looks like a pretty good length. So how long is this? And it looks like it's about 13.5, but I think I'm going to go 14. And then what I can do is tie that around. And it doesn't have to be perfectly lined up, unless you're me, and then it absolutely does. But, you know, I'm going to crisscross these like that. That looks good. And then one of these I'm going to bring up and through there. That. You know what? I think I'm going to wrap this around another time. So, you know, like that. See? See how that works? Before I tie it though, we have a little more work to do here. And I've got this piece that will cover up that eyelet at the bottom. Actually, I think this goes this way. Because what I wanted to do is I have this a scalloped edge scissor. And I just wanted to go along the top of this. And scallop the edge and maybe even a little inking at that top edge. Yeah, what the hey, with the sides too. All right, and then I chose not to put flaps on either sides of those because it has a tighter fit if you just put some double-sided tape along here, along the sides. Okay, so I'll just burnish these sides down. And you know what I might do is just put a little of that glassine tape along there. The reason I say that is because this kind of comes up just a little bit, and it's because of this eyelet. It's okay if it does that. It really truly is okay. This is intended basically as a tuck, so it doesn't really matter if that has glycine on it or not, but maybe just like a little tiny squishy bit. And it just adds a little bit extra dimension. Yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to add a little glycine. This stuff, I think this stuff is really fun. The glycine, cellophane tape, aged cellophane tape. You know, that's what gives some of these old books their character. The tape stains, leaves marks and whatnot. And I'm just not even going to do it straight either. There we go. There, yeah. I like that. Okay. And then that just adds, it just acts as a little tuck there. Like that. So the other side of our page, this side of our page, has another little journal card attached to it from the Elements page. And what I was talking about as far as giving it character, instead of cutting it, you just tear it. And then in order to give it a little more continuity so you don't have the whiteness, just take your little inker and just ink those haloed edges. You can even tear the corners a little bit. And I have these. This is what I used for my envelope, but you know, I'm just going to jag that up a little bit. So I've got that, and then this one is a little, it says July on it. Same thing, it's from the Elements page. And just ink the edges a little bit. Anyway, I'm just inking around the edges. Giving a few extra tears. And then this July page just, it slides into the envelope, right? Easily. Anyway, July page slides into the envelope. This other little memoranda page is a little bit bigger than this flap, which I knew. I totally knew that. So I might just fold it up where I want it to be, right about there. And I'm going to go ahead and tear it. A little inkiness. Maybe around the corner artificially. So that's good enough. Alright, so that goes over this like that. Again, in this particular case, I don't necessarily need all corners down because, you know, it's a grungy, sort of aged, rustic piece. So just enough that it's going to mostly be down when I put it down. Make sure it goes the right direction. Alright, so that goes like that. We might want to put a little pocket here. We might happen to have one. Some of these pockets are from the Elements page. These are just some ways in which you could use those elements. It's always nice to have things to use for embellishing that are maybe a little bit different, you know, out of the ordinary, unexpected. And that wasn't exactly the corner. Yes, it is. It is. It totally is. goes here. Just want to make sure my book folds. There we go. It does fold. Okay. All right, I'm happy with that. I'll just get in with my bone folder to make sure that that I've got my flaps down, but I can still tuck something up in here. So, and I can. And then we had there's another pocket here. Okay, this little rose pocket goes here. Make sure I got my pocket adhered and can still get something in here. Right, I think I'm happy with that. Okay, so we can go ahead and close this now. Okay, so my little faux pas error here kind of bothers me, but there are things that you can do to make your mistakes look like less of a mistake. Like adding trim to make it look a little more intentional. Maybe something like that. It almost looks like a little tab. Let's do that. And maybe you might want to put it like that anyway, I don't know. Anyway, I probably want to let this dry before I tie this so it doesn't glue down. But the last thing we will do is add this little tuck. And maybe a little going up here too. Okay, I'm just going to end up cutting this thing. All right. So we've got our tuck. And then our little tuck goes like this. And then you can, you know, put little things behind it. Now, I think we're pretty much done. So we will go ahead and tie this little thing. Oh, look at that. Okay. So one of the things that we failed to do was punch the hole here, which I'm not sure I'm going to be able to do, but let's just do this. So in essence, the eyelet should have gone through here too. But going to go ahead and tie this. You should probably note that if you're going to, well, not if, don't make my mistake. Put the eyelet in after you adhere this on there so that the eyelet comes over this piece too. Okay, that said, enough said. We're going to go ahead and tie this. Or you can just leave it like that too. I mean, that has character as well. I mean, it's all about adding character. Like I said, there's always ways to embellish it. Put something over it, whatever. Alrighty then. So we just tie that. And it makes a little cute little closure, and like that. Like I said, this stuff will relax out once it dries, and this part does get, you know, a little thick, but that's okay. And then it closes, and then we can slide it into our envelope. And then it just slides into our envelope. Correct? Yes. There we go. So, that can be adhered inside of your journal, and basically it can go anywhere. I think the way I had it was the inside front cover, and let's see if I have a book. So this is an empty shell of a book right now because I've done a few of these. But you had some things over here on this side, and then I think the passport goes here on the inside cover, and then everything else closes like that. So that is another one of our Boho Betty kits that I hope you have enjoyed making. I will be making more, and right now I'm working on a craft room reorganization, and hoping that by being insanely organized I will have a lot less lag time between projects. But anyway, thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time.